the world's fastest apiarist. This is the outside gate. This is the outside gate with Steve Hall on the L4 Media Network, where we usually talk US moto and anywhere the conversation goes. Today, I've got another Aussie on the line. I remember this kid winning MCRCV events. I put on my MCRCV hoodie just then. He was on a Kawasaki and he was whipping everyone, and that kid went on to be the best off-road rider in the world. Chucky Sanders, how are you?
Good, Steve. Good, mate. We've gone back a few years here, so it's cool to see you got the show up and running, and big fan of the sport as I am as well. So it's cool to be a part of it and get on.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, it seems like I don't know. It seems like a long time ago, back in those days when you were on the were winning club events on a Kawasaki. It probably seems like a long time ago to you too, man.
Yeah, it would have been my first legit year. Would have been like '07, but anytime we had a club day at the Orchard at our family farm was like, I think the first junior event there. Hansy got all the kids together, and it was like maybe '04. I think maybe the first one was. I was on also a little KX85 then. So it was good to kick things off nice and local. That club ran awesome enduros and had a strong competitive junior and senior side. So it was cool to come through the ranks and race locally with me mates from school, and and make some great friendships through that club as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, it's a good club. I moved from that area, but so I don't get to many MCRCV events, but I still keep in touch with some of the blokes, and I got a lot of fond memories of of running those damn events. Sometimes it was testing the patience and that sort of thing, running events, but it was good fun. I even raced a couple of them, but I was more of a I was a professional sweep rider, so. I've
Yeah, the
been
sweet life, mate.
one thing I always remember about you is you never roosted the sweep riders, or you never roosted me anyway. That's for sure. When you went past, a lot of the guys would, but yeah.
I'd always give him a hard time on sight lapping juniors. I was just on the back of him, and always pushing him because sometimes we actually got a few sweep riders to make a mistake and crash in front of the junior fellas, so it was pretty funny. But it was good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've crashed leading a bunch of juniors around once before too, which is a funny story. But yeah, this show's not about me, so we'll leave that. Yeah, one of my claims to fame that you wouldn't realise, I got a print out here somewhere. It's up with some of my stuff there. When you were still doing the club events there, it was probably nearly your last time you did a club event, because you were already probably a junior world champion at that stage, and it was a senior 3 hour at Three Bridges there, and you won, of course, and I was about I actually raced that one, and I was about third or fourth last, which is sort of customary for me. And there was two things I was really proud of. One was that I was only 10 minutes slower than you, which I thought was actually pretty good. I think your lap was like 25 and mine was like 35, and I thought I was real happy with that, And then the other one was that I can't remember how many laps, but it took you longer to lap me than I thought. Like, I was expecting to get lapped on like the second lap. I was like, Chucky hasn't come past yet. I must be not doing too bad. At one stage there, I used to say I was the slowest bloke in the club, and you were the fastest. So yeah, good times, man.
Oh, well, we
Good
have to
times.
hold each end of the fort, mate.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. But I always had. I was the slowest bloke in the club, but I had the biggest smile though. That's for sure. Um, Dude, how's the body going? And tell us a bit about your training at the moment.
Yeah, so body's copped a fair bit after the last 2 years. We've had a 22 was the broken elbow, and had like 6-7 surgeries that year, with about five. I think it was five on the elbow, and then one on the shoulder as well. And then last year, got through Dakar and broke my femur training for Fink. desert race, and pretty much had 8 months off the bike. Had another surgery on the femur because it wasn't healing in end of October. 4 weeks off and started riding end of November, and then 4 weeks preparation for Dakar. So that wasn't fun. Then just had a pretty chilled start of the year. A little bit of healing and just follow up X-rays, just trying to make sure the bone got a little bit more solid, but it already survived the hardest race on the planet. So it was just like, have a bit of a breather, make sure it's all good and don't rush anything. And now it's the last 2 months, I'd say it's been, the first month was pretty painful getting back into the motocross side of it. Like I could get away with it on the rally bike, but going motocross training and enduro stuff, like smashing the leg in the corner and putting it down, was probably the most painful part. And sort of each week it got better and better. So I just gritted my teeth and just pushed through the pain, and now it's actually come pretty good. So I'm just working on me endurance and trying to get my skill and speed back. The skills come back pretty good, but I can feel good and back together on the bike like how I was. But I can do that for a few minutes, but not like hours like I used to. So that's my main goal at the moment. But currently in Argentina at the moment, preparing. We just did 3-4 days riding here on the rally bike, getting ready for the next World Rally round, which is the Ruta 40, which starts on Monday, I think, start of June. So it's all go here. We've got a couple rest days and then admin prologue on Sunday and into it. So pretty busy, but we're feeling better. The body's really good. Happy where it's at, and we hope to get through this one healthy.
Absolutely, man. Is your mate Walkner there? Is he recovered and back?
No, he hasn't. So Walkner sustained a bloody broken tibia, fibula, an ankle, just pretty much like he hit a landmine. Like that thing exploded. So he was super lucky to keep his foot. He lost a lot of blood, like pretty much all the blood circulation. He lost, all his bones sort of just shattered and went to mush. So it was pretty scary there for a moment. He nearly lost his foot, but thankfully he had good doctors and a good team around him that saved it and did everything they could to keep it. And now he's just 5 days a week rehab, and it's about 4 or 5 months. So he's going through a tough time, and but he's always looking at the positives, and he's going to come back good. But he's still a few months away from riding again, I'd say. But he's getting close to walking without walking properly on full weight. So that's exciting, and he's working hard, and he's a hard worker. So I keep in touch with him most days. So it's good to keep each other updated and motivated, even though we're on the other side of the world. But we like to know what each other's doing, and keep supporting each other.
You've been missing your roommate on the rally, huh? You've been missing your...
Yeah, I know. I got no one to talk trash to. Like, me and him just would speak for hours about what we can do, what we can do better, and how we can improve bikes. And just, if we're watching the motocross in America or Supercross or MXGP, just talking about different riders. And we just, anything we do, we just dive deep into it. So it's cool.
Awesome, man. Well, good luck. Good luck with that rally, man. Obviously, all of Australia is pretty keen to see you get into a Dakar at full strength, so we know what you're capable of. So,
yeah, exactly. That's my main goal, is for this, all the events we have this year. It's just get through it and literally just build the best bike possible that we can go to Dakar and win on. So, and to make sure the body's 100%. So we're got a busy last half of the year now. We're pretty good to go on the training side, so it's going to be a lot of development, a lot of training and races, and just try and get back.
That's it, man. Cool. Hey, we might get back into your junior days. So, like, my favorite part of the show is always the question of, when did the bug bite? When did you first, decide that this is for me? I want a motorbike. I saw a motorbike, or when did the bug bite you that this was going to be your life?
Probably going through the house as a kid and Dad's trophies, I'd say. Like,
Yeah.
I can't, like, I don't think he's kept the bike mainly at the apple farm, so it's where all the boys went riding from there. So I don't know. I can't remember the bike early days, but yeah, the trophy's definitely in the house, and he always said how good he was or whatever, like your standard old man
He
talking.
was
And
pretty good though, man. Your dad
yeah,
was
he
good.
was
Yeah, he
he was
was
good.
good. Yeah.
I remember as a kid watching him ride,
Yeah.
like,
Shit. Yeah.
and but then I always like he should race, but he's 10 years older than all the other fellas. But how he rode,
Mm.
it definitely helped me, like just watching how smooth he was and stuff. And yeah, it's pretty unique. But yeah, it was definitely young, and then jumping on his KTM 300 when he had one as when I was younger, and jumping on the front, feeling the two-stroke power, all that. But just wanting to race anything on two wheels in, and then dangerous, I wanted to be a part of. So that happened, yeah, young. But I didn't get my first bike until I was 8. Like mum and dad held me back a fair bit,
Mm.
just because I was that crazy kid. But yeah, I think they didn't want me to crash early, and because I had no fear, so they didn't want to. They didn't want me to be scared if I had to be crash into a fence or something like that. But I don't think no, like there's no way nothing would have scared me like what I did
Mm.
on a BMX or any extreme sport I tried to get into. Any sport, I just hit the ground, got back up, kept going.
Mm.
So yeah, that's where it all kicked off, and then we had the events at the Orchard as well. So I'd go down there as a kid and watch, but didn't even have a bike then yet. So we just watched on the slipperiest corner on the track where everyone would crash and have carnage, or we'd put a 45-degree angle log with no bark on it, so everyone would slip on it and wash the front. So always causing chaos. So yeah, I just wanted to race and be competitive. Like it didn't matter what sport I did, I was real competitive. And yeah, the racing side of it just fascinated me because like every kid had dirt bikes or something as a kid, but I was sort of everyone at primary school already had a bike and I didn't, and I'm like, why? When my dad raced and had trophies, but my cousin was riding, my brother hadn't got a bike yet either because he got held back because of me, because it wouldn't have been fair for my older brother to get a bike. So yeah, it was a little frustrating as a kid, but just patience and it came.
Mm. Awesome. How is Dad? How's Dad going anyway?
Yeah, going all right, going strong. Still picking apples. Not too much time on the motos these days. He'd prefer to make the tracks and clean them all up for me. So
On the
yeah, it's just
tractor
been on the
and the
tractor and the
dozer.
dozer. Yeah, he's pretty much ran out of room on the property now to make any new tracks, but always loves cleaning them up with the grader blade. But yeah, we just got to get the events up and running again at the Orchard. It's we just got knocked down by a neighbour or something about the permits and stuff. But we've been running events there since 1980. So we're just going through the council and the shire and the state government, just because it's all prior. We've had events there for 40 something years. So
Yeah.
just going through all that crap to sort out, and then we can get some events up and going again, which I think we're all craving to have again there at home, and a lot of locals are too. The clubs are, so
Oh shit,
it's
yeah.
getting harder and harder to ride everywhere. So it's it'll be a good feeling when we get that up and running again.
Yeah, man. I miss going out there to events. When I was living down there, obviously I was at the apple farm pretty often, that he organising stuff for the MCRCV and that. And yeah, it's fantastic place. I love the joint. Yeah, that's it. What about Woody? How's Woody going?
Yeah, the Woody the dog. He's about, I think he's 7 now. He's still chasing dirt bikes and
still flat out.
Yeah, still full gas whenever this kid's riding. He just wants to chase him around and watch him ride. And like the back paddock at the moment, we've been doing a fair bit of riding with the motocross track and grass track. The kids ride the supercross track on like all my mates' kids now. They're all on like little Stasics or 50s or something like that now. So they're just rolling the supercross track and grass track. So yeah, he just loves it. They feed him some little snacks, but no, he's my little coach. He sits there, the shadow on the side of the track, and watches me ride, and
Yeah.
just some bit of a companion track dog. So he loves it.
That's it. I've been waiting for a Red Bull helmet with Woody on it. You got to get that happening. We need a Woody
Yeah,
Red Bull
maybe.
helmet. Huh? That's the
Maybe
guy.
maybe I need to get his head on the back of it or something.
That's
They're
it. Yeah.
pretty they're pretty good with what they can do these days with those airbrush stuff and
Oh yeah, man.
the paint jobs and what they've done on some of my helmets is incredible.
Yeah, man. I actually did a Troy Lee tour there earlier in the year, and we got to walk out the back, and you weren't allowed to take photos or anything, but you got to walk out the back where all the dudes. There's like this dude who's been painting helmets for Troy for like, yeah, he's always been there, 40 years or whatever, and yeah, it was pretty cool to see all their gear and all that sort of stuff. It's amazing what they can do. Yeah. Dude, so your first bike was the JR80.
Yeah, it
I
was
remember that one, man.
straight
Yeah,
out of BDX.
yeah.
Muzz sure helped Dad out. Dad used to ride for that shop as back in the day. So yeah, got that for Christmas morning. That was a bit of a surprise. Went into Mum and Dad's room and I was just going. I couldn't even get the words out there. I reckon I was just like, "There's two bikes." Like I was just stuttering. Like I couldn't. And then yeah, straight that morning we got out and started riding around the grass, and because it was a clutch too, so Dad started us with the clutch and all the gears. So
Mm,
yeah, it was good way to start. And yeah, me and my brother were out in the grass just learning. Just I don't think we got off him that whole week, and then
mm.
Boxing Day and to New Year's Eve, like we just rode all the time and got to figure it out. So it was a good starting point. But yeah, it would have been nice to start a bit earlier, but that's it. That's only they can control that, the old parents.
That's it, man. And there's the old story about Dad taking the seat off the bike to make you stand up. That's true, is it? I reckon. It
Yeah,
sounds like something
I
Pete would do.
yeah, I remember probably when I was what was it? Just turned onto the 125. So when we were on 85s, I was still getting smacked a bit by some state kids. I guess I wouldn't even know who they were, but I wasn't the top state level kid on an 85 either in enduro. So yeah, sort of when I got to 125, that's sort of where you really started making the gains of riding styles, techniques, and you're on the bigger bike, bigger wheels, bigger suspension, and you get stronger as well and faster. So yeah, that's where I really learned following Dad. Like he'd always have different lines to all the clubbies and that. So that's where I sort of learnt, don't just be the sheep and follow the line. Like get off
Mm,
and change your lines up, get and use less energy. So that was one thing I picked up really early on is cutting lines and just getting out of the main line to save energy, and it's smooth as fast to stay up high on all the off cambers. Like where we live on the clay, on the slippery red clay, like it's if you can't keep momentum there, you're not going anywhere. So
mm.
just just a couple of those tricks then, and then standing up, he'd make me do a whole test sitting down on the seat, do a time standing up the whole test. So it was about like 30-40 seconds difference. So it's like, well, you
Mm.
can see what's faster. And then just try and stand up where you can and sit down in the corners that you need to. So I didn't have to do the seat technique, but I didn't even get threatened because I got told to stand up. I stand up. It was my brother that got threatened the old
Ah,
the
righto.
seat technique really. But yeah, I just stood up and made sure I stood up the whole time without taking the seat off. I
Mm.
wasn't that bad as a habit, but my brother definitely was when he was started on an XR200 and that thing had a couch on it. So he just sat down the whole time and just that different riding style as well. So yeah, I think the two stroke, I think when you get to that 125, that changes a bit like how you ride. So yeah, but there was no bike setup. There's no like gearing changes, jetting, suspension. It was whatever was stock on the bike is what we rode pretty much. So no suspension was ever serviced unless there was a fork seal, and Dad probably tried to clean it out with feeler gauges and
Yeah,
try and
that's it. Oh, I still
like
do that.
there was no way a suspension got serviced. Like I think one of my sets got to 180 hours old. We got it brand new from Bolton's, and Gilesy did it from Choice Suspension. And we didn't know anything about unless you blew a seal in the shock, like blew a bladder out or something, because it got so bad. But like I think one set did like 150 hours or
Mm.
plus, and the shock he poured it out, and the fork oil was just stunk the whole workshop out. They couldn't believe it. But yeah, just those things you didn't know. Like you just grow up on a farm and run things till they break. So yeah, that's just a couple of things I wish I learned early on. It would have made my life a little easier, maybe racing. But when I got the good stuff, it just made me that bit better again.
Yeah. And so you obviously got into racing the Vics, racing the Vic off roads and that sort of thing. You didn't really do the Aussie off roads much as a junior though, did you? Is that I guess just cost a lot of money, doesn't it? Yeah.
It does, and but as Dad always said to us, he goes, if you're not winning these races, then why go to the national level? Like other than to go have bragging rights at school, that was sort of the only thing to have. Is like, oh, I'm 10th fastest in Australia. As a kid, you think, shit, that's pretty good. But when we were riding the club stuff, like I won pretty much all the club level stuff in our area and that, and then I just sort of put my times up against the seniors there. But then when we did the state stuff, we tried just to do some close rounds like Erica, whatever, sort of an hour and a half, 2 hours we could go to, which was close for Dad because he didn't want to go travel 3-4 hours after working all week. So we do Erica. If there was a junior round at the Orchard, we'd do that. And I don't even know if we did. We did 2-3 years and just those 3 years. And then once they did the third round of the juniors at the Orchard in 2009, and it was my first year on the 125, and I outright the whole thing. Like I beat the intermediate riders and then the kid who was the fastest in Australia. So I just I had a good off-season trainer. I didn't know it was an off-season trainer, but Dad just said right over the summer and, work hard, do your times. And I just worked at it and came out. I didn't even know I won the enduro because he didn't know your test times until the end of the day there. Well, Dad knew them, but he never told me. Just said, just keep riding. And then everyone was going up to Dad going, you need to get him to do the rest of the Vics. Like he's beating the kid who's winning the Aussies. And
who was that kid?
Alex Stevenson.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm sure you remember him. He was running like top 5 in senior Vics. So he would have been running like top 10 in juniors in Australia though. But he's fastest Australian, but in the top 10 in the senior ranks as well. So he was just the freak of the junior going up. So that was my challenge, was to try and beat him and to chase him. So I had the home ground advantage and I knew all the tracks and all that as well. So that sort of did that, but even that, it doesn't help that much. But yeah, so I started doing the rest of the Vics that year. Someone told Dad to sort himself out and actually get him to take me there. So started doing that, and the next round got me ass handed to me. Got like second or third. Went into the cross country. I never had to pace myself before, so I just tried to run their pace, and it was like sandy terrain, and we don't live anywhere near sand, and I was never good in sand. Had no idea how to ride it. So yeah, got smoked there, and just started racing in that juniors and got third that year because I missed out on obviously the first 2 rounds, and then last year in juniors I got second, so behind Alex again. So it was good to get into that next level of racing, and that was the next challenge, was to do that. So that's why I never left Victoria, because I didn't have to. Like there was the fastest kid in Australia and he was in Victoria, so why would you leave until you beat that competition?
Yeah,
like until you're the best, you don't have to jump out of that pond to a bigger pond yet.
Yeah,
like you see some I see it's just, and like I see it a lot these days with the obviously the parents taking the kids around Australia racing and that, like awesome, but it depends what they want to do, and if your kid wants it, then I don't know, it's just parenting and how you want to go about it. But yeah, it's cool. Like I wish I had that as a junior to go around and travel, but then at the end it wouldn't have helped me if I traveled to Queensland for a weekend racing, take time off school. Like any race we went to, I had to wait to school, finished at 3:00. Mum would pick me up out the front of the school, and then I'd go. Other kids at my school got the whole day before off to travel there and chill out, muck around. Then we'd get there late 9 o'clock on Friday night, sleep, wake up, cross country first thing in the morning, sprints on Sunday, get home, sleep, go to school Monday morning. And the other kids had Monday off. And I'm like, these kids get to have Monday and Friday off. Why can't I? Like, I was like, what is going
You're getting
on?
ripped off.
Yeah, I know. So just, yeah, but, I wouldn't change it any other way. It made you want it more. Like,
That's it, man. When did you? When did you first get some like KTM support? What year was that?
so I would have started, 9. Boltons were helping me out a little bit because Alex Bolton was in intermediates that year at the state round at my house where I won, and obviously Brucey's old man was there, and Dad knew Bruce from back in his day when they were racing together. So yeah, he helped me out there, and obviously AC at Valley Force Husselberg was Dad's real close mate now. My good family friend from growing up, so I knew him for ages, and he had the shop in Lilydale. So yeah, that was it was good to have that support there. And then, but from KTM wise, I think 2010 would have been my first new bike, so I would have got that through Bolton's, I think, and got a 200 there. So yeah, it would have been through there, but just on, I don't even know if it was a race plan bike, I can't remember, but yeah, and then I think it was, and then 11 as well. So whatever those race plan bikes were, probably super cheap. Like now they're probably like $7,000. I remember a race plan 300 was like what was a race plan 300? It was like $9,000, and that was when they retailed for like 12. So now they're like, if you got a 300 for bloody 12 grand's cheap, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, man.
It's like
those
out.
300s about the most expensive bike you can buy at the moment.
Yeah, and the thing is, that same model still going for like $7,000, $8,000 now.
Yeah,
it's crazy because I'm trying to buy an old one as well. So yeah. But yeah, I didn't get a free bike until was it 2013 when I was 19 off Kawasaki when I switched because the whole money situation changed. So
yeah, cool. And we'll move into just a bit about your junior 6 days when you started going to the junior 6 days. How did that opportunity arise, man?
Yes, I got into me work when I was about 17, 18, I'd say, and got just train harder and got better. I figured out a bike that was really good, which was a 300, and it suited me. Got really good results in Australia, top 10 outright, and normally the top 10 guys go over to represent Australia for the 6 day. So there were 6 senior riders and 4 junior riders, and 3 women. So the first year was, what did I get? 2014 finished 6th overall in Australia. So that was in the senior ranks, which was cool in the pros, and won the 19 and under class. So that was sort of my first Australian title when I was 19, 18. No, you would have been 19. So yeah, went to the 6 day in Argentina and went on a standard 300, no just stock suspension, stock bike. So that was an eye opener, and I think I got 20th overall there, and a couple top 10s in the test, which was pretty cool. And I think we got 3rd in the junior trophy there.
Yeah,
which is good. First stint, and then to get up on that podium, that stage as a first event overseas, really big one. So that was special. And then the following year was 2015 in Slovakia, and we went over, same sort of strong junior team, and we won that year, and I think I got 4th overall as the top junior there as well. So that was my first year on the KTM Enduro team as well, under Grabo's wing. So that was a hell of a year. We had my teammate Ty Simmons as well. So it was a strong team, and who else we have? Tommy Mason and Brock Grabham. So we did a fair bit of hauling around those Slovakia bushes, and the 6 day was probably the best one I went to. Like terrain wise, was unreal. Good forests, good tests in the bush, and yeah, that was pretty special to win the E3 class as well. The big ball class at the race in all out of everyone was pretty special. Didn't expect anywhere near that, but it was a cool feeling definitely, and opened up a lot of eyes. That year and down the track.
Yeah, there was a lot of excitement back home about that. I can tell you, like, yeah, a lot of people checking results, so checking results all night and that sort of thing to see how you're going. That, that was just amazing. When you did that, that fourth outright, it still as a junior and all that sort of thing. I remember that year real well, man. Yeah, and then a few years later, man, the Holy Grail. Hey, tell us about that one.
That's it. So pretty
19,
much
was it
after,
19?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much after that Slovakia race, like that 6 day, the following year, I stayed in Australia again and then raced and won the Australian Championship outright.
Yeah.
And
Did you win every round? You won every round of the
nah,
Aussies, did
I
you?
nearly did. I snapped some ligaments in my ankle, so that shredded me for when I was in South Australia.
Ah,
Won the first 2 tests. I think the third test I ripped my ankle apart and was pretty much right on one-legged for for that round, unfortunately. So
yeah.
yeah. Otherwise, yeah, was pretty much
But man, that year in the Aussies,
clean sleep.
you were like, just about winning every test, every sprint, like that, just that everything. You dominated. Yeah.
Yeah, I pretty much did. I did. I think
Yeah.
the first round in Queensland is sort of where I struggled a bit, but once I got through that round, my confidence gained, and I just knew that that terrain was where I struggled in that dry, dusty, rocky, sort of faster stuff out of the Victorian flow of the tight technical stuff. But
Yeah.
that after that round was all good. I learned how to ride sand after training for Hatter and stuff. So yeah, that was a good year. I felt that was probably one of my best years other than 19. It was definitely my second best year of feeling on a bike like that. That KTM 300 2016 model EXC was the bomb. I've got that bike hanging up on my wall, and that's one I want to duplicate and make a copy of, because when I retire, I just want to have a spare one I can rip around
Yeah.
the
Sure.
farm. But anyway, yeah, that 16 year, I went to the 6 day in Spain, and like I knew I had a real crack at winning it, but that's when we changed frames from the 16 to 17, and that engine was different as well. And I just wish I stayed on the old one. And I learned the lesson there anyway, because I lost. I think I lost by like 12 seconds or something for the overall.
To
Um,
Sipes? Was that to Sipes?
no, the
Oh,
Sipes won
Robert.
15. That was Robert. Yeah, Taylor
Yeah,
Robert
Taylor
won
Robert. Yeah.
16. So yeah, I probably could have had a crack if I had a cleaner start in the final moto. I probably would have had a good shot of doing it, because he had a shocking final moto. So a bit of a bummer there, but anyway, 2019 came around, and what did I do? Just dominated sort of most of
Yeah.
the year in Australia anyway, and I was fighting with Milner, so we brought the game up pretty high with the level of speed, and came to the 6 day in Portugal, bit of sand tests and to start with, and then some hard packs. So a good mixture. All the best riders around the world were there from all the championships. So yeah, that was sort of probably the highlight still of my career is that win. How well I was riding around there, how well I had the bike set up with the Husky, and so I stayed on that 2019 model, and I didn't jump to the 2020 model. So I learnt that from 2016. So I was like, I'm staying on what I know, what I race on. My suspension setup, everything was the same, and just went over with my mechanic and my bike. They sent from Australia, which was exactly what I raced all year. So
Yeah.
that was really special, and I was confident, dominated all the days pretty much, and showed what I was capable of, and that's pretty much when I got to stand on the top of the world. And I was the fastest dude in the world that year on an enduro bike. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that was a good feeling. And then good old COVID swang the next year.
Yeah, that was amazing, man. Yeah, like you it was. We were pumped, man. We were so pumped for you in 19. That was amazing. I reckon everyone at the MCRCV at least was up early in the morning watching that final moto, and
Yeah,
And one of your mum or your sister or someone or your girlfriend or someone was running around with a phone doing a live stream of and
I think it was my sister. Yeah,
yelling out the
she loaded.
results and all that sort of thing. And we could see Dad in the background and all that. It was it was fucking cool, man. It was really good.
Yeah, no, it was good to have mum and dad there and my sister.
Mm.
Yeah, it was. Just especially for mum and dad, like they're the ones that took me to every race as in the Vics, in the juniors, and working in the shed, the apple shed at home. And that's freezing. That's whatever degrees it is
Yeah.
outside is what it is inside that cool room there. So no, just working through, all that. This the humble upbringing and all the dedication and work mum and dad have done for me. It's not like either of us got it handed to it. Like mum and dad
Yeah.
weren't throwing millions of dollars at me to be this motorbike protege, but they just did what they needed to do and to give me what I needed and was the bare minimum, and that's all I needed to work hard and get that position of doing it as a job and racing professionally, and then just helping me out where I can and supporting me at the 6 days and that. And they're still still the biggest fans to this day of what I do, and always supportive and wanting to know what's happening and still watching me train and helping me out. So no, it's good to have. You need that family support to do what I've been able to do.
Absolutely, man. Just a couple of little stories, just memories of you that I've just thought of while I'm listening to you. One that I always remember, there was a club Christmas dinner at Cano's, and
Okay.
and we're all there, everyone's there, ordering palmers and drinking pots and all this sort of stuff. And you arrived there, and you rode your push bike there and sat there and drank water while we're all eating palmers and drinking pots and all that stuff, because you were like already training, like you're on the road bike, and you came in, you sat there, drank water, and because you had your healthy food that you were going to eat at home, but you wanted to come down and say good day to everyone. And then we're all leaving, full of beer and food, and you were back on the pushy back out to home. So I was like, that's commitment, man. Like, sitting there at a Christmas dinner there, with all us eating and drinking around you, and you're being that healthy. I always remember that. And
I'll go on. Go to the next one.
the other one, man, is that before 19, remember you had that the fundraiser.
Yeah,
and, I was there at that, and we went down to watch you and Fraze do some mad shit on the moto track. Anyway, you did some jumps and whips and stuff, and then you were going to do some corners, and all the kids are lining the berms and watching everything like that, and everyone's sort of in one spot, and your dad Pete says to me, "Hey, come up and watch him from the next corner." And so the one where you basically you come in, you do a right, and then you do a left and shoot up a hill.
Yeah.
And he goes, "You got to watch him from here. It's just unbelievable." And he sort of sat me right in the best spot to watch. And you came through there, man. It was like a fucking aeroplane went past. How quick you went around there, but it was ridiculous. And I was lost for words. I just sort of looked up, and I couldn't say anything. And your old man's just got a grin from ear to ear, and he's just like, "You see what I mean?" It was just like, that was incredible.
Yeah, that one was before that was before 19, so that was that was before the pinnacle of the old.
That
was before the 6 days. So yeah, we felt good on the bike and everything was gelling. But yeah, that's sort of one thing I don't really get to hear, because Dad never bragged about me. You'd never hear him in the pits going how good I am or how good he was or whatever. He would just I don't know. He's just been super chilled and humble about it, and just sit back and let my actions do the talking kind of thing, I guess. And he's always keeps me lowered and down, doesn't pump me up ever. So it's just sort of how my whole Sanders side has been. It's like all my cousins, uncles, everything. They're just like, they'll give me some credit when it's due, but sometimes Dad won't. But Oh, sometimes he does. Like when I won the 6-day, that was about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. Yeah, it's just keeps you humble, and you always just want to make him prouder, and actually, and it's good for yourself too. Like you look back at that, and the cool thing is now it's like coming off my femur and the elbow on that. I look back at and remember those corners, and I still do them, and that feeling on the bike, like I've had it back the last sort of month, 2 months. It's like I know I'm racing rally, and my focus is rally now, but I want to get back to that feeling, being that fast in the bush, in the motocross track, in the desert, all that. I want to have that 2019 feeling again,
Mm.
that I can, can roll up to any race and dominate where I want. So that's just the competitor I am, and what I want to do. I want to feel like I can ride. Like if I rolled up to an Aussie now and won it by 20 seconds, I wouldn't care as long as I rode the way I wanted to, like with no mistakes. Bike was working really good. I was working really good. Just watching Jet ride, like to have
Mm.
that feeling. You watch Jet ride and how he flows with the bike and the track and everything like that effortlessly. Like that's how I want to do it in enduro and desert and all that. Just to have that feeling and just go, okay, then I'll go race or whatever if I'm ready. But you just want everything. You want the perfect lap every lap. That's what I try to chase, and the feeling. So I got to work my ass off to get back to where I was, and that's my strive this year is to get by December. I want to be able to shred like I used to.
That's it, man. Yeah, yeah, the injuries just fuck up that consistency and your base, your fitness base, everything, don't they? Just put you behind. You got to just work back to it.
Yeah, it does, and it's like the first year with the elbow wasn't too bad. Like I bounced back pretty quick with that and did Hatter in 4 or 5 weeks prep and only rode the weekends before. But no, this year is definitely different. After that whole year off before, and then the last 8 months, and the rally bike you can get away with because you're not going through the physical demand of the high intensity of motocross and desert racing enduro. Sometimes you do, but you rely a lot of the navigation to succeed and to have some luck go your way. But I just want to have that, get back to where I was, and it will help on the rally bike, I know.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Are you doing Hatter this year?
Yeah, I am actually. So that's the last 2 months has just been trying to prepare and do that, and
Yeah.
running it all by myself pretty much. Got had me mechanic Louis come down and help out, and then I'll get Declan Adams from Mildura. He's working for the Gas motocross team. He's from Mildura, so he will help me out for the race weekend. And yeah, just pretty much doing it off my own bat. Just got Red Bull supporting as well. And I bought the Gas race bike. So the one I won in 2022, I won, I think. Whatever not last year. I always get messed up with the years. They just
Yeah,
go too
yeah, yeah.
fast.
Two
They get
2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I bought that race bike because that was going to be my Fink race bike for last year. So I got it all painted, got the factory engine for it, all that. So that's just sat in the shed for a year, and I haven't rode it. So I got to sort of got to do that, and it's sort of the old model as well. But I haven't got new bikes yet, the new shape gas yet. So I was just like, look,
Yeah.
if I'm going to race it, I'm going to do it on the old one because I have all the material, the parts, like
Mm.
the tanks, everything you need for desert. I've got it at home in the shed, and I can just bolt it on and build 2 bikes and go race. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'll just do that and then figure it out after that. So yeah, just going to do that. Have the old man do the pits for me and just do it pretty low key. I just want to get to an event and race. Like it's really good for desert,
Mm.
and it's sort of it's a good thing for me to train for as well. Like it's tough if I can get back to my 2019 fitness at that race, no one stands a chance. But I need to get there first. But
Mm.
yeah, it's probably not going to happen. But in this time frame, but maybe that fitness is going to be October. I don't know what the timeline is of me fitness to get back there. So that's what I've noticed is my endurance is off, and I was like, well, I need to have an event that I can set a goal towards and get to the Hatter and then just do my own race. Like not worry about winning it, even though everyone's got their eyes on me,
Mm.
being the factory desert rider coming in to win it. But look, I just want to go there and race it and have fun and feel good on the bike and not fade and drop off. And to be there and try and win it, that's exactly what I want to try and do. But I think I'm going a bit more as the underdog. There's going to be a stacked field this year. It's probably be the biggest year ever. And everyone's got their own weaknesses coming in. And yeah, I just want to go out and do my best and race again in front of Australia and bring a good crowd, because that event is definitely one of the best in Australia, and it's the biggest moto event. So I want to just go there and support it, race it, encourage kids to do what I do, and just have fun. It's a mad weekend, good people up there, and catch up with everyone. I won't have a voice by the end of it, but talking to everyone. But no, hopefully gets a lot of rain, and it's a really tough 4-hour race.
No, it's good, man. I'll go up there for a look. The last couple of times. I know last year I did camp, but like it's only a couple of hours north of me now, so I just go up and I can just go up one in the morning and whatever, and just watch the Sunday if I haven't got much time or whatever. But yeah, I think I'll probably camp this year. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's good, man. Like I get around taking photos and stuff, man. I do a lot. I get a lot of steps in, man. That's for sure. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a good race to watch. You at least see 8 laps and everyone going really fast, and it's just a long lap when you're waiting to see where everyone is. Hopefully they can do some live updates out in the bush there and do some times to let everyone know in the pits. Would be cool.
Yeah.
Just make that race a bit better and just have a little bit more of a live update other than waiting 30 minutes a lap. But yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Yeah, because you do lose track a bit of especially because the lead changed a few times there last year, and you sort of lose track. You'd see someone come past and you'd be like, "Hang on, did such and such come past? Did I miss them?" It is a bit like that. Righto, just spare a moment to hear all about Guts Racing, the best seat covers in the world. Hey, Guy Wolf's winning in Europe. Jed Beaton's winning in Australia, and of course, RJ Hampshire lit the candles on a Supercross title, all on Guts seats. Guts, you can get seat covers, you can get complete seats, new foam, the ultra light seat foam. You can get seat bumps. The old seat bumps are coming back. That's coming back in fashion. You're seeing a few more of them again now. The wide wing seat. If you want a bit more of a wider seat, you get a bit more of a grip around the knees. Speaking of knees, if you are a knee brace guy who is really giving the sides of your seat a hard time, you can get the ballistic material along the sides there. You can get a tall seat if you're a big and tall fella. Huge range of colors. You can go on the website. It's amazing. You can very, very easy to navigate. I could even navigate the website easily when I recently ordered some stuff. Huge range of colors. You can get Velcro fitment or just your traditional staple gun job. And as Privateer Hero, Scott Meshy says, they're a butt gripper and they will make you a ripper. As well as Scott, they're also used by Club MX. So Filthy Phil, PRMX with Mitchell Harrison, Moto Concepts Honda, AEO KDM, Next Level KDM with my man Hunter Slosher. He's out there on a Guts seat. Phoenix Honda, Dylan's out there. Hep Suzuki, Chiz, Kenny, and of course Rockstar Husqvarna. So RJ and the lads out there on Mookie. Mookie Fever is about to light, I reckon. You're going to see some outdoor Mookie Fever, and that will be on a Guts seat cover. Get around them, gutsracing.com. That's a real easy one to remember, gutsracing.com. Also, our last episode, which was the Military Appreciation Show, there is some details in that if you want to jump on and listen to that show. Especially if you are a veteran, listen to that show, and there is a competition there where you might be able to score yourself a Guts product if you check that out. All right, let's get back to see what Chucky's got to say. Dude, obviously winning Dakar, but what else is on your bucket list, man? Like a US national or what else, man? I want to see you do a
that's
US
still there.
national. That's what I want to see you do. Yeah.
It's still there. I had an argument last night at the dinner table again with my teammates because I say it. I said my goals is like to do an MX AMA national, so outdoor.
Yeah.
So that when I was there in 22, no, before that 21. When I was there, I did 3 months over there, and I was
Yeah.
busting my ass off in Florida training and riding. And yeah, KTM wouldn't let me race the outdoors because they just, I don't know. I think they underestimated what I was capable of. But and I knew what I was capable of that year because I was riding with some pretty decent riders. I was riding with Jet and Hunter on 250s, and then I was riding with Cooper Webb, Joey Savacci, and Justin Bogle. All those guys are in the top 10.
Yeah.
And my laps weren't far off, let's just say, and like a couple seconds off. But the first day I was there was like 10 seconds off, and then by the week I got used to the heat, the bike, and like I was on a stock 450 bike there, and then it got me lap times down to like 2 seconds off them on the motocross track. So I was like, shit, if you're 2 seconds off these dudes doing their sprint laps, and they're qualifying, if you're 2 seconds off in qualifying. And Coop was running second pretty much every moto, second, third to Tomac or whatever. And I'm like, all right, so dreaming would be like 5 seconds, like fifth, 10th to fifth. I was like, I can qualify in the top 10. And my fitness, I was like, I could moto and make the top 10. Like Caleb Russell did it from GNCC, all that. And the level of then, injuries at the end of the season, there's not many riders there as well. So I was like, sure, I can top 10 it. But anyway, people like to knock me down and I like to prove people wrong. So that didn't get to happen that year, unfortunately. But it's still a goal of mine. And same thing, that's what I was saying before, is getting back to that 2019 feeling. Like, let's just say it. And I want to get back to there so I can go to America next year before I get too old. Like, I'm 30 this year and I'm like, these injuries have knocked me back. And I'm like, I just want to go race. But then coming from KTM side, they're like, you've had a broken elbow and had pretty much the whole year off. You've had a snapped femur and pretty much had the full half the year off. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's a hard argument right now, so I need to win Dakar next year, then I can have a bit of playing room to go do an MX National. But the thing is, I got to go grind for it as well. I don't want to go there half-assed.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to do it, I want to do it properly.
What tracks are like if you got to choose?
I think I want to do a couple. I'm going to do a couple. Like I think it'd be good to go on standby for a mutter and do a mutter race.
Oh yeah.
Because I think a lot of them are pretty soft. No, I know a lot of them are soft when it comes to rain and mud. The
mutter would be good, man. Yeah.
A lot of them are pussies. So there's not many guys out there with grit. I'll tell you that right now. I've seen it. And I wouldn't mind doing a mutter. I don't know whether to do. I wouldn't mind doing Southwick just because it's a sand one. I don't know how I'd go in sand compared to a hard pack because I grew up on hard pack and that's what I know.
Yeah.
So whether I do Southwick and a hard pack and try and find a mutter or a couple hard packs, because once you do one, you may as well do a couple. You're training for one, you may as well do three or four. So
cool. Yeah.
I think Redbud's cool. I got to ride there in 2021 with Carmichael and Jeff Stanton. They did the coaching school there, so that was cool. Got to ride the track. I had COVID then. That's the first time I got COVID, and I was crook ass, but I had to ride the track, so I was just riding around and having some fun. So that was actually a lot sandier than I thought as well. But Jesus, the jumps are steep, like so steep. I'd never see one in Australia that steep. Like how steep the lips are. They're like, I was like, not even my Supercross track's that steep, and they've got it international, and I'm like, oh, that's the level it is. So anyway,
yeah, cool, man. What about
that'd be my three.
GNCC or anything like that, or?
I wouldn't mind doing a GNCC again, but those bikes, are a lot different, and the tracks are a lot different as well. But I'd like to just go do one, not to do well, like just to go race one again, and do it. But I think the setups are, a lot different with the bikes they run. I'd still try and go there and maybe a 450 enduro. Because they all run 350s over there. I think a cross-country 350 is, you got to ride it too hard, and the way I ride is a bit different. So I'd like to lug around a 450, I think. But That'd be cool to go race with Lindo and Strang and a couple like Baylors and all that, those boys, and friends with them and done all the 6 days with those guys. So it would be cool to go doing another couple rounds, maybe that Florida one in the sand. That's a tough one at the start of the year. Don't know. There's a lot of races I need to sort of to go do on my bucket list. I think like there's beach races as well, and in Europe would be cool to do, but it's like far out. Where's it stop? You got to do rally and
you're young, man.
That.
You freaked me out. You freaked me out just before when you said you're turning 30. Oh, fuck, man, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
No way.
It's
There's
not a good
no way
feeling.
that's true. And but man, you're still young, man. Like shit, keeping fit, man. Like people are dudes are just racing longer and longer. So you got lots of time, man.
That's it.
Dude, just a few random funny sort of questions, different things, man. Dude, what have we got here? So what skill would you like to have that you don't have? So you've got a few skills, you're making honey, making the world's best apple pie, shooting hoops, dirt bikes. You got a few skills. What don't you have that you'd love to have?
Memorizing a road book when you see it. That would make me a lot of money if I could remember that.
Man. Yeah.
Oh, if I could read a note on our road book and just look at it and just be like, all right, I know where I'm going. That'd be the magic trip. But
that's a good one.
No skill. I don't know. Something to do with motos. Just don't know. It's not more of a skill because if I want a skill, I'd go work at it. But maybe I should do this memory thing. I just want it snapped. It's easy. I don't know how you train your brain. Not many guys. It's just by the time you're trying to focus and ride a motorbike and then read a map as well with all the stuff going on, you got to look at speed zones, directions, animals, terrain. It's like to memorize just one note, which you got to remember 300 notes for the day. I don't think it's possible. So yeah. Anyway, that would be the magic skill.
It's an interesting one though, man. Like I'm sure there's everybody's out there that's doing rally, that's trying to figure out a way to memorize things better. So there's probably little techniques and little different things that lots of things different people are trying and working on. Yeah, it's an interesting point though, man. Yeah. No easy answer for it though.
No, it's not. It's just the easy one that you want.
Cool, man. What scares you, man? Not much, I reckon.
I'm not a fan of like heights. Like I haven't jumped out of a plane yet. I don't know why.
Okay.
But I would do it if it come to it. I'd just jump. I'd just be like, I'd just say, whatever. I've done sketchier things. What scares you? I don't know. Losing someone really close, I guess. That's probably the scariest.
Yeah. Man.
You just like your parents or your girlfriend or any of your siblings. Your dog. The dogs are worse because you go through heaps of dogs in your life, and it's just one of the things. But they are family, so that's
absolutely their family.
That's one of the bad things. That's the thing. Yeah. Woody's like 7. It's just like he's only got like 5-6 years left, and it's game over. It's like it hits. So I don't know. Yeah, like I think that's the scariest thing. I'm not scared of anything I do. That just doesn't definitely scare me.
Cool, man. Cool. Hey, what is there anything that you laugh at that you shouldn't laugh at? Like it's a lot of people have got things that's like, I fucking shouldn't laugh at that, and you don't want people to see you laugh at that. What's your thing like that? Something?
No, I've done some bad ones, but like I laugh. Like even my parents always drilled me like that. Even if they thought I wasn't lying, but if I started laughing, they just assume I'm lying. But I'll smile and do things in awkward situations. Like I'll just start laughing and smiling and like something seriously, like someone could die, and I'll just be like do a smirk or something. And I'm like, I just can't control that stuff. Sometimes it's weird. Like, and I have this problem with my girlfriend at the moment because like I will smile in serious situations. And she's like, it's not funny. And I'm like, I can't help it. Like, I will just smile. So that's It's like, I don't know. I just have this weird, like, I get the smirk and the smile thing going, but I can't control it. It's just something I accidentally do in serious situations. So I can't put it to something
Yeah.
at the top of my head, but I do it really bad some sports. Like if I was in the principal's office and they were like, "Did you do it?" and you're smiling, but it's like I didn't do it, but I'll just start smiling because I'll like think if I did it or something like that. I'll just role play it, and then I'll be like, "I wonder who did throw that water bomb at the teacher and splattered her in the face," because that's
Yeah.
pretty funny. But
Yeah.
just like that, I actually did get in trouble a couple of times at school, and I'd smile, but I didn't actually do it. But they think it was me.
That
So I was
makes you
like,
look
ah.
guilty. Yeah.
Yeah, it is, and I was just like, "But I can't." Like, that's why I just laughed straight away when you said it because it was just like, it happens.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. That's I have a lot of trouble with the same thing. That's the first time. That's a new question on my questions list. So,
Yeah, it's
it,
hard being a nice
yeah.
guy, isn't it?
Yeah, I
You
was like, oh,
it's just
I'm always known for smiling. Everyone knows that I'm
yeah,
always fucking smiling, and I'll smile and laugh and that, and when I just shouldn't. And
yeah,
even if my brain's saying, "Oh, that's terrible that someone fell over or whatever," I can't
yeah.
fucking stop. Like I'm fucking terrible. Like so many things. Like even
Mm,
like I grew up with a disabled sister and I got disabled friends, but I'll still, if a disabled person does something funny, I can't help laughing at it. And I
yeah,
feel so
it's
bad, but it's like, if
yeah,
it's funny, it's funny. I've got so much compassion for those people. But if
yeah.
they do something weird, it's fucking still funny.
Oh,
But I'll
it's
think, oh, I'm such a fucking dick laughing, like you're hiding your
yeah,
face and yeah.
yeah. But they're like they're so funny. Like, um, he's just like Jet Hunter's brother has autism as well, and he's
Yeah.
the funniest dude. Like, he's so funny. Some of the stuff he comes up with, and he's like, it's awesome, and it's really like you see those two together, and how humble they are as well, and like their family's so like awesome and tight together, and they love Tate so much, and what he does for them as well. It's like it's cool, and he's unique, and he's got his own little wit about him, like how witty they are, and they come up with the funniest stuff.
Mm,
It's unreal. It's actually it makes your day like better, like what you said. Like, it's funny some of the stuff they do, and you
yeah.
laugh. I shouldn't do it, but they got a brain. They got an imagination and a brain on them that's just out of this world. Like, how do they come up with some things that is just so smart? But yeah, it is cool.
It is, man. Cool, man. All right, we've nearly gone an hour. I said I'd only take an hour of your time. You got things to do, man. Dude, the last thing I do to close out the show, I'll tell you the backstory. So, the very first show I did, some stage there last year, and I had my mate Ryan, who works for Pro Circuit, as my first guest. Good mates. So I was all comfortable and all that, and I was so prepared, man. I had this introduction prepared and I downloaded and organized this Grinspoon song that I wanted for my intro, and everything was fucking organized, and then I'm just not far off doing the show, and I realized I had no outro whatsoever. I had no outro music, no outro song, no nothing. Anyway, I'm just a dude who likes to sing songs, and I'm always singing and just fucking shit like that. And I thought, fuck it, I'll just fucking sing a song that I know the words to close out the show. And I tried to get Ryan to join in and that sort of thing. So, and then it just stuck, man, as a fucking thing I just kept doing. So to close out the show, man, I sing a little bit of Kenny Rogers, the Gambler, man. So I don't know if you know
Yeah.
that. You might know
I
that.
know, I know it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll just one verse in the chorus, man. Closes out the show. If you know the words, then join on in, man.
I'll try and pick it up where you are.
So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette,
Cigarette.
asked me
Ask
for
me
a light,
before a light.
and the night got
Night.
deathly quiet.
Deathly quiet.
And his
His
face
face
lost all
lost
expression.
all expression.
Said, if you're going to play the game, boy, you got to learn to play it right.
Play it right.
You got to know when to hold 'em.
when to hold 'em.
Know when to
Know
fold 'em.
when to fold 'em.
Know when to
Know
walk
when to
away.
walk away.
Know when to
Know
run.
when to run.
You never
You
count
never
your
count
money.
your
When
money.
you're sitting at
You're
the
sitting
table,
at the table.
there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's
When the
done.
dealing's done.
Daniel Chucky Sanders, thanks, mate. It's been great to catch up with you. Great. Thanks for jumping on the show at short notice. I had a postponement this morning, and so I hit up a few people, and you were good enough to jump on at short notice. Good luck in the rally that's upcoming, and very, very good luck for Dakar, man. And I'll might see you at Hatta. You'll be super busy, so I might not see you, but I'll be there cruising around, taking some photos and talking moto with people. So thank you very much,
awesome.
man. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Cheers. Yeah, thank you. I'll go have some dinner. It's 8 o'clock here at night, and that's how they run here in Argentina. Eat late, get up late.
Cheers, man.
We get up early. See you, mate. Bye.
See you, man. Bye.